Hey, you guys already know this is the Darren Green Show. I'm your host, Darren Green, chopping it up with one of my lovely co-hosts. I said one of my, like I got like 3 co-hosts. It's Derek, dog. What's up?
What's going on, y'all? It's Friday.
I had to think about it.
Like,
Been
damn.
working so much. You've been doing so many events. You done forgot what day it was.
Right? I'm like, what day is it actually?
What time is it?
Right. I ain't go to bed till 5 o'clock this morning, child.
Lord
I'm out of
Jesus.
it. I was up watching Squid Game.
Oh, how was that?
I'm the last episode I watched had me a little choked up toward the end. It ain't gonna lie. It had me about to stream some thug tears, but it's actually
Don't spoil it because I ain't see it.
Yeah, I really don't. I'll be watching when other people watch it and like when it's trending and shit. I try to get to the tail end because people jump on social media and spoil every fucking thing.
Yes.
So I wait until they get close to the end and then I start watching it so I can catch up and like enjoy it for myself.
That's how it was with Venom. Like somebody spoiled it for me. I'm just peddling through TikTok and I'm like, dang. But I'm not gonna say it because I'm not that type of person that ruins things for others. Episode 146. We just hear a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. We are not doing live shows, as you can tell. We're doing a pre-recorded broadcast, which I think is a lot better, me personally, because lives is always like I still feel like I'm getting better at it though, because I remember my first time going live, child. I was at my second internship, and I was at a jazz radio station. I was like announcing music, and it was like I messed up on a couple of things, but I mean, it was still like I was scared as hell. But this. I mean, us doing live for the little time that we did. I mean, it was cute. Like it was
cute.
It was cute. It was gearing me
end of an era.
Hopefully one day. But yeah, it was definitely an era.
Yeah, end of an era. So what has your week been like?
Well,
sorry, it's after 5, so I'm drinking, so don't mind me.
No, child, look, I should have got me something. But I'm not home, so I can't. This is a dry campus. I'm fucking tired of college.
It's almost over.
I know it really is. It really is. Like I was doing my math homework all the way until like 12, I think, or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, this is sick of this shit. Like I was telling my roommate or whatever. I'm like, yeah, because my birthday happened like last Sunday, so I'm 24 now. I was talking to my roommate. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely too old to be in college. This has to be this is it. It's gonna have to work. Okay. I didn't do much. I mean, I went to New Brunswick with my parents, and then like that following Monday, I went out for drinks. Honey, got a little tipsy on a Monday.
Now, yes.
You know what? A little bit of tipsy on weekdays. Okay. But yeah, nothing really bizarre. Just regular school shit. People are just here chilling.
Right.
How's your week been? I know it's been eventful.
My week has been really, really hectic. Started my week off, chilling, relaxing, maxing on, cool, shooting some b-ball outside at the school.
I'm done with you.
And then I turned around and hump day came. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should follow me on Instagram, and you can see what I'm talking about.
No, hump day.
Oh yes, hump day was lit on Wednesday. So I ordered like these new like jock straps. I don't really order jock straps or whatever.
Yes.
But I ordered these new jock straps, whatever. And I was like, oh my god, these actually fit my body so good because it's hard for me because I'm a skinny boy. You know what I'm saying? They usually make those for like the thick gym guys or whatever with the juicy booties and the little small waist and I look out whatever. But I ordered them because I liked how they were constructed. And they looked really good on me. And the people agreed. Okay. Like,
right.
The orders went in or whatever. And then the company reached out to me on Instagram and they're going to be sending me some more stuff. So I'm going to be working on, building a partnership with them and see, where it goes, So the doll is selling draws.
It's working. Okay.
The doll is working. And then like it's Newark Arts Festival. So I hosted a story slam at the library on yesterday. And I'm also a local team captain for this new and growing community called Breakout of like experiential people. Like they go to like 14 different cities or whatever. and like have a weekend, and they just go to all these different things. And so last night went to our little opening dinner, the captains, and then today we started like doing our tours. And so it's been a very eventful day outside of, you know, still looking for a new apartment, a bigger space or whatever for the family. And tonight, as soon as I got off the live tonight, I got to, you know, beat my face a little bit, put a little,
where you going there?
A little doll to it. I got invited to an infused dinner.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So everything's going to be tasting lovely.
For the broke people in the chat room, what's the infused? Like, I'm kidding.
It's where all the food, like your food and your drink, are infused with either CBD or THC.
Oh, okay.
It's like a cannabis dinner. And, you know, I've always wanted to do one. I mean, for those of you who smoke weed, you know what I'm talking about. But like, it's with food, and like most times it's like organic food, and like
you're gonna get high. Does it make
probably you make like a body high, but like something like that. And for like people who like, for me, like dealing with anxiety,
like it calms
you. Yeah, like depending on what type it is. Like, so indica kind of is like the calming, relaxing, like it'll make me go to fucking sleep, period. Like smoking indica will make me go to sleep. But sativa is more like a stimulant, so it like makes your brain work. And like for some people, depending on the dosage, that's another thing too about smoking weed. Like niggas be out here not knowing what their dosage is. Like you can't just be hitting blunts back to back to back to back. Like that's when they call you when you get burnt out. Like you're trying to keep up with everybody else that's smoking. Like you need to know what your limits are, know what your dosage is. Just like medication, I can only do so much before it's time for me to.
Hey yo,
you know what I'm saying? So
yes,
after you know, oh shit, I feel like I've been smoking that since I was 17.
Not 17.
So yeah, so after 17, half my life. So after 17 years, you know, now we're tipping into like infused territory. Like I know we've, you know, talking about like edibles, and it's the same thing, same premise. An edible, if you do cookies, brownies, whatever, it's the same thing. But instead of it being like a cookie or a Rice Krispie treat or whatever, it's actually dinner. It's like a meal that has, you know, different strains. You know, the oils are in it and like cooked in it and used as a spice. So it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. I've never been to one. I've wanted to go to one for like past 3 or 4 years, and so now tonight I get a chance to do it. And part of one of the experiences I get to do with the breakout group that I'm working with is that tomorrow there's another one.
Okay.
So this weekend I may be floating. I may be like Snoop Dogg with this thing. But yeah,
I love to hear it. Hope you have a great time.
It'll be fun. I'm excited.
Period. Periana.
So what's going on in the world? Because I know earlier this week people were panicking. The girls were shook.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's take our names off so we can put these banners up. Facebook and Instagram and people that's on WhatsApp too. We're down. It was a big outage. It lasted for like what, 9-8 hours?
Well, 4 hours for some, but yeah, it was gone for a while, y'all.
Well, to me, it felt like the entire day because I'm not saying that I live on social media, but you know, it was very annoying going on my Instagram and not being able to refresh it because I was thinking it was my Wi-Fi, but apparently it was Zuckerberg. So he lost $7 billion following the outages from Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
$7 billion in one day.
One day. Well, you know,
that's why folks be jumping off buildings when they ain't got it like that. Like some people said $7 billion.
$7 billion, child. Some people was like, though, I mean, that's probably 5 cents to him. I'm like, well,
maybe he's worth $121 billion. So
right.
6 of them. I mean, that's $6. I lost $6 today.
Well, here's the thing: the social media outages followed a recent interview with the Facebook whistleblower Frances Hagen, where she detailed many shocking allegations against the social media giant. Basically, she said Facebook's research shows that the platform amplifies hate speech and misinformation. Now, I watched the full 60-minute because she was on 60 Minutes. And basically what she was saying is, if you ever wonder why you see a couple posts, like you see posts that is considered hateful and posts that are like
during the campaign.
Yeah, and they get so much, and it's not even just with the campaign too, and it gets so much traction and likes and views and stuff like that. And you see it on your page. I know for Facebook and Instagram ain't the only ones that do that. When you're on the For You page and TikTok, like certain content that you like for example, if you are a conservative and you might see like liberal posts, or a liberal might see conservative posts, or a gay person might see a person that's homophobic. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to start some shit, you get what I'm saying? Because what she said on that 60-minute interview was that Facebook essentially profits off of people like arguing in the chats and people like arguing in comments and stuff like that. And just,
it's called engagement.
Engagement makes engagement, keeps people on the app. You get what I'm saying? It is, I mean, she was, honey, sis was blowing. She was whistleblowing. Okay, I definitely suggest that you guys watch the full 60-minute interview, because she also goes in on Instagram saying how it's like harmful to teenage girls, because a lot of them are subject to be depressed and suicide and all that other stuff. I mean, sure, and there was a little bit of pushback, because I went on live on TikTok and I was talking about it, and there was some people that was agreeing and some people that saying, well, is it a case of people just maybe if you feel like that when you're on social media, maybe just like hug some grass and take some time,
Or now they told these people to go out there and hug on the grass.
I can see both sides. I particularly, I was.
Of course you can. You're a Libra.
Yeah, we both see. Okay,
I understand both sides, guys.
However, I think Facebook has an obligation. I mean, if there's teenagers, okay, I get fuck grown people, right? If there's teenagers that are still considered children, that are depressed and almost to the point of suicidal thoughts because of Instagram, then we have a problem. I think, yeah. I mean,
okay, so they have a problem. You have well, right, because for me, and how you be saying this is my opinion, and y'all can't cancel me because y'all didn't make me, so it don't matter. So the same way that people can make the argument that Instagram and the Instagram models and all of these reformed bodies that people are getting can cause body dysmorphia in girls who aren't developed yet, don't look like that, because everybody was like, I want to look like that. This is what the boys want. This is what people like. I want to look like that. And it makes them feel insecure about themselves. Like, people have been doing this since the invention of Playboy. Like, when you see those models, or when they started airbrushing photos in magazines, and it's the ideal. And I have to remind, that's why I'm glad I don't have kids. I would always, that'd be me telling my kids every day, whatever you saw on your phone is not real. Okay. It ain't real. What you watching on TV, for the most part, it's not real. This is entertainment. It's just supposed to take your mind away from reality. And the sad part is that people have decided to make these fantasies their reality, and they accept it, and they just let these things sit in their spirit, and it mess up their brain. Like, if you have a young, so I'm like, I never understood why, because Facebook even on the App Store, it says 14 and up. I'm like, but why do we need kids on Facebook? Like, Facebook was supposed to be for old people to reconnect. People, like, it started off with, like, if you went to college, you got a college email address, and you connect with your people, create your social community, all that kind of stuff online. You can reconnect with people from high school.
Those like teenagers, though, like,
but it made sense. And then when they started opening up to like the old people and like the babies, it was like, why are they here? To crazy ass. No, seriously, like, why are they here? Like, why can't you just create a site for kids?
Yeah, they were talking about it.
Kids have their own social media and just let them stay there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And and let them do what kids do and talk about what kids talk about. But all the access that has been given to kids over the past 10 years, with the access to YouTube, and they choose their own music now and all those things, like, they know almost as much as us, if not more than us, about the current culture. And so I understand with that exposure, there's going to be an expense that comes with that, is that people are want to live up to these standards that they're seeing, and they don't. And if you're a person that's, I won't call you weak-minded, because if you're a kid, you're still going through, you're still developing, but like, it can be very harmful for children. It can be harmful for an impressionable mind who isn't prepared to process information. That's the problem with, but that's a lot of people. A lot of grown people have a problem with processing information versus absorbing information. A lot of adults deal with that on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok, all the things. Like, you see these things that incite you, right? Whether it's your curiosity or whether you have an opposing belief, it makes you feel something. It makes you want to argue your point. It makes you want to stand your ground and like be part of the ruckus. If you're a content creator, what we've learned, like, Facebook ain't have to do no research to say that. Like, yes, we work in media. We know that controversial shit causes engagement.
Yeah,
because it causes a conversation. It makes people think critically. It makes some people think critically, and then the people that don't like thinking, they just be talking out their ass, and it's just because they ain't got real jobs. So basically, I watched her interview, and I was like, I'm just saying, I watched her interview, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, we knew that for the past like 5 years, Facebook has been under investigation and testifying before Senate based off of misinformation campaigns during the election. About like, you know, why can't you pull these ads if it's not facts? You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally, like, you're allowing people to get on here and spread lies and say, well, it's not our policy because politicians have for centuries lied and said whatever to get elected. So why should we not have that same freedom of speech available online? If we can do it in real life, they can go knock on your door and lie to you and make promises and twist the truth and all these things. Why can't they do it online?
I think because that was a lot. Well,
editors of magazines have been editing photos, changing body,
photos, airbrushing and making people lighter, making black people lighter,
making them lighter to create this standard of beauty. So why can't we do that same thing online?
Well, okay, so that aspect. Let me get into it. Let me get into it. Like I said, I still feel like when it comes to kids are impressionable, you know, and I see what you're saying too, because also my generation, I can safely say my generation, when I was in middle school, Facebook was there. Facebook happened, and then we all got into it. I wasn't able to get Facebook until I was like in 8th grade. That was upper class in middle school, whatever. Then Instagram came out when I was in high school, Snapchat, and Twitter was around there too. I was there before they had these community guideline rules. People could say literally any freaking thing to you. So talk about cyberbullying back then. There has been progress. However, what my issue is, and I made this on my TikTok video, the whole thing about amplifying hate speech, because I see a lot of that, like, or stuff that's controversial, not even just hate speech, stuff that's just controversial. I talked about how my fucking Instagram page was fucking shadow banned for months. I said, well, now looking back at this, I'm like, well, was that the reason? Was I not controversial enough? Did I not incite hate speech? So it makes it, everything she said made sense, and it's just like I really wish that, you know, everybody could get the same amount of amplification, if that's the thing, if that's possible. How would that not affect your numbers? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, this whole situation when it comes to Facebook, that's why I was like, look, that's why I'm on TikTok now. I'm not messing with y'all. I'm gonna definitely scroll through. I'm gonna do y'all like I do. Like I used to do Pinterest, because you know you go on Pinterest, you don't be doing nothing on Pinterest. You just be swiping. It's a swiping app. This was looking like on Instagram and Facebook, and I made a post. I said, "Girl, I don't care. I'll be the day this shit will become new MySpace. I'd be like, ooh, but hey, I mean, it's to each his own. When it comes to Instagram. You know, like I say, I think people should, if it makes you depressed, I feel like you should try to stay away from those sites. I mean, I never experienced that. Because I'm just the type of person, I just care what's going on with me. Yeah. You know? and when you do that, you ain't gonna worry about the girl that's using Facetune to make herself skinny. Like it's because now that we know that it's fake, Why does it bother you at this point? It's like, well, hell, you know the shit fake. And even if it's not, like, just once we all work, we got to worry about the lives that pay us.
Girl, I'm just sick of this whole.
Uh-huh.
I'm just sick of this whole like, what about the kids thing with everything? Because it's like, okay, listen, and it's not just because I don't have kids, because I have nieces and nephews that I care for deeply, and I want them to be raised in an environment where they're learning, educational stuff. Is as far as the things they need to know when they become adults and how to function in the world as civilians, but also like worldly things. Like there's a time and place for them to learn certain things, and I feel like the internet isn't the place for them to learn it. So
boom.
I don't have kids, but if I did have kids, my kids wouldn't need a cell phone that has anything on it other than for them to be able to call me, like, or to text me, or to play games, because that's what children are supposed to be doing. Put your digital flashcards on your phone, like download educational apps for your children. And, parents need to, the excuses of, parent, everybody's working now, I don't have time, I can't monitor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you can't monitor, then you shouldn't give them those devices or access. And it's like, well, their friends at school have, so like, okay, there were a lot of things that even when I was in school that my friends had access to. Like there were boys when I was in elementary school and middle school that would sneak their dad's Playboys to school so we could all be in the bathroom like, oh, look at those titties. You know what I mean? But it's
when you put the phone down, you got to be a parent now.
Okay, the problem is that the parents are more on social media than the kids. You're not seeing what your kids are seeing because you busy trying to be the next Amber Rose. Go be a parent, because when it comes to content creators, girl, fuck your kids, because that's not who my target audience is.
All right.
I make adult content for adults, and if your kids see it, then where's their guardian? That's me. Who do you belong to, and why do they not have control over what it is that you have access to? Because that's not my problem, Stevie. Okay. Yeah,
absolutely. I remember I had a conversation about the other day about the whole, they still talk about Lil Nas X, and I'm like, girl, first of all, when I was on YouTube, I had to, and better not be no kids watching, I had to fake my damn age. I was 85 with a Google account.
Because you a liar. But that's not the point.
If y'all make y'all kids Gmail accounts with the correct age and make them use that Gmail account, they will not be able to watch certain shit on YouTube.
You think the kids today don't know how to make an account, a Gmail account?
Well, I mean, if it's okay, so if they 14, 15, give or take, I mean, at this point, there's nothing that you can hide from them. They're going to search out. I'm talking about kid. I'm talking about 13 and under. You get what I'm saying? That shouldn't really know what's going on. Like I have cousins that are playing with tablets, that are playing like Roblox and shit like that. Roblox is for kids, but like there'll be some grown people on there, and it's weird. It's very weird over there. But like, we have to, you gotta, I'm not trying to say try harder, because there is no like way to be a parent. I'm not a parent, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta adapt to the times.
Fuck that. We were kids. We had parents. So
Zuckerberg is not that your kid's father. He's
not responsible for your fucking kids. He's not responsible for you doing your own research. Like,
you seen when they was in court and they was in one of the representatives was like, oh, well, what is your a plan on Finsta? Yeah, that company that I'm like, Finsta.
I don't own that. I don't care.
You can't control people making burner accounts. They didn't even know what
Finsta is.
Finsta is a fake Insta. It's not even a company. It's like
Finsta is the fake Instagram pages.
Yeah, it's like a burner account. It's like we don't put your profile on it. We all got some burner accounts, child. I got a couple.
I don't got no burner accounts. I don't have time. Like,
hell yeah, I got a burner account.
I don't. It's hard enough for me to keep with my own shit. Like, I don't have time to be. First of all, I'm just not one of them fake ass niggas. I ain't got time to be lurking. If I don't have access to your shit, that means I ain't supposed to see it, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with not having access to other people's shit. I have my own shit going on. That's the problem. Y'all ain't got real lives out here. Y'all focus on all the wrong shit. Go make some money. Okay, go figure out how to create generational wealth for yourself and your family and your kids. Okay, like if you train your children to focus on certain things, yes, the world is going to happen. And my mom was telling me all the time, the world will be waiting for you when you're done. And it made me realize, like, I don't have to rush anything. Like, let me just enjoy being a kid, because this time is limited. Like, you only get to be a kid or a young adult for like 18 years.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to live till like 70, 80, 85. Like, no, let me enjoy this time of me being my fucking self, being a kid and learning and having fun, because there's no rush. There's no rush. And I feel like these kids have so much access that they're rushing themselves. There are kids who are 12 and 13 who are looking at Instagram or looking at the Kim Kardashians and the Nicki Minaj's. And even though we love these
there, but you got to be where you at now.
Right. But even though we love those kids, we love those people, we appreciate what they do for the entertainment culture. At the same time, it's like, well, a kid at that age, you shouldn't be aspiring to that body type, because you ain't going to develop into that yet. Like, these people had to have babies to get their hips spread like that before they start sucking fat and moving shit. You know what I mean? Like, take your time. Take your time. If that's what
you really want, and I hate to be, I don't want to sound like B Simone, but take if be what you want to be. You get what I'm saying? You got to do the work. And I'm gonna leave it right there.
Right.
Because you'll be like, he tried to sit there and say I'm lazy. You watch The Grapevine?
The video you sent?
Yeah, it's like a black panel. They always
have. I shared the video about the vaccine. I think that's really cool. Like, how they did that. I was like, oh, this is real shit.
Did you see it?
I watched part. Well, it's long. I watched it. Right. I clicked up. Was like, oh yeah, I don't have time for all of this, but I'm gonna stay here for the first 15, 20 minutes of this conversation, and it was
gets
cool.
real.
I was like, this is what black folks was doing all over the country with their friends and family during the pandemic. Like, bitch, I ain't getting no vaccine. How they just find this vaccine under a rock? I'm not putting them out. But first of all, y'all know they gonna give you syphilis. Remember they did it just at the Tuskegee, and then I'm just like, Lord Jesus. I'm like, and watching it, I was like, oh, people that think like these people. So I was watching it, and I was like, yep, that was that person.
It got real vicious towards the end. So
that was me.
Go back.
Like, when they started cutting each other off, and dude was like, well, I'm just not gonna say nothing else.
Right.
That's very much me. I'm just like, well, I said what I said. It's my opinion. I'm here now, open to hear y'all's, but this is what I said. Is how I feel.
The whole tips in there for me. I was like,
be quiet.
I'm like, girl.
But there are people out there that have that viewpoint, so it's fair to have them in the conversation, because we're all in this together, and it's everybody brings something different to the table, a different perspective. At the end of the day, my stance is do what's best for you. Like, can't worry about the world. Like, we elected people to care about that shit. Like, we literally I voted for people to care about the city. I voted for other people to care about the county. I voted for somebody to care about the state. I voted for someone to care about our nation and our federal government. I am not that person. I don't care about what the rest of y'all are doing. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for taking care of me and mine. That's it.
All right.
So whatever works for you, let it work for you. Now, whatever happens at those levels, the regulations that are put in place for you in this society, you got to go with it, because that's the majority rules, and that's just how it works.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Well, speaking of controversy, with the whole thing with Facebook, certain someone did his comedy special. I think it came out a couple days ago. Dave Chappelle.
Oh, another one.
You said another one.
Yeah, I'm like, I keep, every time he drops one, I be thinking it's his last one.
Well, apparently he kind of said it was, and let me.
Was the last one.
Oh, hold on. Not okay. There we go. I'm like, where we go? My computer always acting up. But anyway, so did you watch it?
No. I have a life. Okay.
He said that actually. I'm like, first of all, we all got lives.
No, what you said was, when I'm in my free time, I can watch, like, in your what now?
In my free time.
Free time. What is that? I am unfamiliar. I don't
ain't doing that else.
I don't know her.
No, I don't know her.
Is busy.
Well, I watched it.
I'm gonna watch it. It's Dave Chappelle. Yeah. It's funny to me.
I watched it for notes. And it got a lot of backlash. I'm not gonna hold you. My thing is, watching it, I was like, well, if he was trying to piss people off even more, he did his job. So a lot of his stuff, it seemed to me when I watched it, it seemed to be a response. And he seems like a reactive person. Like he does his comedy as in, oh wow, I didn't even know that was going on over there. It's this little ad.
Right, I'm looking like
Complex. They trying to not free press. Anyway, like he's very much a reactive person. So it seems like he does his comedy based off of responding to yeah. I mean the past couple specials, that's what it was given.
Right.
He's always been like he talk about what's going on. Even when he had the Dave Chappelle show, like it was almost like, I'm not saying it's like the Trevor Noah show where it's like, because this stuff is more newsy news, but like he did talk about issues or whatever. Yeah. Well, the topics that he was talking about were, in quotes, the LGBT elemental P community. He also joked on, the feminist community, Me Too movement, all that. He really hammered the trans community, though. Let's get into it. There was a lot of things that he said. I mean, one thing he said, that he declared himself a TERF, and he basically talked about how he supports J.K. Rowling. And if you guys didn't know, she was the one that said that the trans community posed a threat to like people that were assigned female at birth. Like that was a whole thing. To him making jokes and saying that equating the genitalia of a trans woman to like an Impossible Burger. Okay, so it was a lot of stuff that, in my humble opinion, I would have left it at drafts, but I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of his shit on there was funny. Like you can't, like, my thing is because I know a lot of people are mad about this, and I gotta actually, before I got on here, I was like, I gotta be careful, but nah, fuck that. I'm gonna say my piece. I see both sides. However, there was like, some things that I just would have left out. Now, there were a couple of organizations. I think the National Black Justice Coalition and GLAAD spoke out reprimanding him. There was many people that's trying to boycott Netflix until they get it off, and trying to get this off the platform. Though I feel like he should have kept some jokes in the drafts, I don't feel like, because I still feel like, I don't feel like he's transphobic though, and I'm gonna just say it because I'm just saying what I feel. I feel that he's just like one of these people that just like, okay, so, because obviously he got backlash from his last show, and this was a response to that. He seems like the type, because I had this one person I used to go to school with that will pick on, like, not pick on you, but like pick at the situation, something that you're like that's not in, no jokes or whatever, not to be hateful, but just to know that it pushes your buttons. And I feel like that's what he did here.
Yeah, he's incendiary. An incendiary comic. He's an insult. He started an insult comic. Yeah, he started as an insult comic. So like everything that he says is virtually offensive. But he also draws, like, even with the Chappelle show, like he did a skit where the black man was blind and thought he was white. Like that whole skit, I was watching it, I was like, this is funny as fuck, but it's also very like unsettling.
Yeah,
it makes me uncomfortable, but it also sparks conversation. And like for most comedians, being a comic, you have the space and it's an art form to take things that are controversial, things that people that aren't commonly socially acceptable to say. These are your thoughts. Just use your platform to make a joke out of it, to make it funny, to make it palatable, right?
Okay.
So you get on there, you say jokes that probably make people, be like, oh shit, I'm not even supposed to be laughing at that. But you laugh at the situation, you take it because but the goal of comics is like for you not to take life too seriously. It's a form of entertainment. It's supposed to take you out of reality for a moment, to just kind of, like, if you really wanted to put it in like an astrological way, like if we ever had the ability to astral project and to like be aliens for a second and just look at mankind on Earth, like all the shit we're doing is fucking funny because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Whether it's murdering, whether it is police brutality, whether it's gay or trans rights, like arguing about these things. All you humans, listen, you were born, bitch, you gonna die. And y'all are spending your lifetime with all of these chaotic, crazy situations and circumstances. You're fighting socially, it's like creating culture wars and all these things when you finna die in 70 years, okay? In a universe that's been around for trillions of eons, for millennia. Okay, you are here this long, and this is what you're spending your time doing. So yes, all this shit, this things, even this, and me as I'm an advocate for the LGBTQ community, but a lot of the stuff when you take yourself out of it, like, damn, we really still fighting for shit like this, like 30 years later. And like being black is like, damn, 400 something years, 1,000 years, 2000, like, damn, this is crazy. This shit is fucking crazy. And so when you walk away from these shows, yes, you get your laughs in because it's like sometimes you're just laughing because I can't believe you said that. Like he's one of those comes like you laugh because like this nigga crazy. I can't believe you said that. Now, not because you agree or and it's like I cannot believe he got his black ass up there and said that shit. He's crazy and it's funny. But then you walk away and you have conversations like these, like, okay, well, this situation is not funny, and this is why. Right. And getting backlash just means that people heard what you said.
Yeah.
And when you're a comic who's in the business of, anybody still in arenas right now, you got to
you got to do something that's going to
pull those things that make people watch and make them talk. Like, so he did it. Dave Chappelle did it. I ain't even watched it yet. And the fact that we're talking about it today on this show, Dave Chappelle did his job.
Now, okay. The thing is also there's a fine line. Right. And I don't think that line was crossed. I watched it. I watched the full. I was entertained. I'm not going to lie, because the thing about it is, though, what I've noticed now since I've been on TikTok and since I've been on YouTube, you either got to be on this side or that side. If you're not on, if you're sitting there, if you're saying what you're saying, what you just said, oh, you seeking straight male validation or straight people validation. But if you're on the other side and you're not with them, then you're fucking sensitive. Like the thing about it is, though, I feel that when I said there's a fine line, there was never a moment where I felt like, okay, he's inciting for people to attack the trans community or because he talked about the gay people. He talked about gay people too. So what? I'm in it too. You get what I'm saying? It's not like when Lil Duval was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot somebody. Like I have to kill you if I find out that you was born a man or whatever. Or if you know what I'm saying, if you're trans, like it's nothing like that. It's nothing like what DaBaby said with his situation. It was just like he was being reactive, and I feel like he was being it was a lot of sarcasm. And I don't know. I mean, there was a part in there where he was actually talking about a trans woman that he had opened his shows in San Francisco or whatever. I don't want to spoil the story because it was a really good story that he had at the end, and it just made me feel like, oh wow, he's just like it's not really, And I'm not trying to say, oh, he had a trans person that was associated with him, so obviously he's not transphobic. But it was just like it was a really good moment. I feel like people only get caught up into the clips and the articles. The articles, because even me, I have to check myself because I made posts on TikTok or whatever that insinuated that maybe like he was transphobic, but like I didn't watch it at that time. I didn't watch it yet. I just read the articles.
Yeah,
and a lot of these articles are just perpetuating that, hey, he said some transphobic stuff, and I mean, I hope that they don't delete it off of Netflix. Netflix kept cuties, which that should be deleted, but I don't see Netflix budging. I don't see the
art. Like that's the thing. Yeah. Like when it comes to entertainment, or when it comes to socially informative pieces, like this shit does happen. Like the stuff that we be like, oh, I want to get this off the air. This needs blah blah blah. It's like, listen, this is what really happens in the real world. Like, we can't get to this space where we don't want to face reality or look at reality through different lenses.
Yeah.
Like, cause it gets sketchy because it's like, we're fighting for visibility. We're fighting for the conversation. We're fighting to be seen, but you can't do that without there being a disruption. Like that's part of the disruption. And yes, you're going to cause waves that comes with it. So we have to, if we're going to make the impact, we have to be able to accept and embrace the waves so that we can be transformative. Right. So, I think that with his show and a lot of other programs, it's like, okay, well, there was a whole team of people that made this possible. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people on this team don't agree with a lot of things that were said or done, blah, 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 but they understand the power, the impact that something may have. And nobody wants to work on something that's going to have a majority negative impact versus a positive shift, like cause a positive shift. Some people don't. And some people are motivated by different things. But I think that with Dave Chappelle or any other comedian who said what they said, you know, if y'all choose to cancel them, that means, okay, well, pull your subscription. You know what I mean? Don't subscribe to their stuff. Don't follow it. Don't watch their stuff. Pull your support and then focus your energy on things that you like or things that agree with your spirit or align with you and your beliefs. Like, do that. That's how I feel about Christians speaking on things that have nothing to do with them. Like, okay, well, it's against my religion. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then, if the God you serve says it's an abomination to be gay, then don't be gay, and then mind your business and focus your energy somewhere else. It's not like, don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
They feel like they have to save others that are out.
You don't have to save me. Focus on your focus, boo, because you're not there yet. Yeah. That's my thing. Like, you ain't.
And that's the thing. And I don't want to like, you know, his secret formula, you know, out of secret formula, whatever. But it's basically reaction. Anything, like, he might do another fucking special about whatever backlash you get off of this shit. But he did say it was it. He did say this is it.
Hey, but conversations bring checks.
But my thing is this: like, he's only gonna do stuff that you guys are pissed off about. He's gonna keep on doing it. Why not? If it's bothering you that much, yeah, don't interact with it. People are gonna have platforms all the time. Work on your platform and get up on here, and then maybe you can start, you know, doing jokes on straight people. I mean, hey, I mean, it's anyone's game.
Yeah. So now I gotta go watch this show. What else is going on?
You will not be disappointed. Anyway, Letitia, Cherie from Black Panther.
Letitia Wright, what she do?
She over here reportedly is pushing anti-vaccination views on the set of Black Panther 2. This left a lot of people saying, like, yo, she's fumbling the Marvel bag. Like, I've seen a couple posts and comments on social media talking about this. I'm like, Annie, what was the reason though? Like, you definitely could have kept it to yourself. Like, I get if you're anti-vax. If you don't want to get the vaccination, that is fine. No one is. I think anti-vaxxers think that someone's putting a gun to their head. The only way, okay, I get it. Like, you can't go into certain establishments if you're not vaccinated. But like,
that was your choice.
That was your choice. But they don't think that's a choice.
Oh, you're limiting my freedoms because I didn't choose to do what you want us to do. Like, yeah, that's exactly right. I'm like, just like if you're at your mama's house, if you don't clean your room, you can't go outside. Like, outside still gonna be outside, but you ain't going because you ain't do what you were supposed to go out there. So it's the same thing. Like, listen, you can't come in here without your mask on, and you can't come in here unless you're fully vaccinated or can produce a negative COVID test. You walking around mask free, no idea if you're positive with the virus, you ain't getting vaccinated, you're a biological threat. Stay your ass in the house or around other people that think like you, and y'all can all get coronavirus together. That's it. And even for people who are vaccinated, like, there are still things we have to do, like still social distancing, still supposed to be wearing your mask. Because they're different. All these Greeks out here. I mean, Miss Corona is still probating throughout the country. Okay, Deltas are still coming through. Okay, Epsilon and Lambda. All. Now I ain't got no coronavirus. Now. Y'all see me smoking.
Look.
But that's the point. What? Allegedly. But no, seriously, like, there are consequences to all choices. There are consequences and rewards to every choice that we make in this life.
Now, her staff quit. Her American staff.
They quit?
They quit.
Oh, okay.
Like, honey, that's not good. I mean, she made a response. Okay. My intention was not to hurt anyone. My only intention of posting the video, because she was talking about the social media post, was to raise concerns with the vaccine, that what's in the vaccine, right, and what we're putting in our bodies. I'm like, y'all be eating, and I'm not checking what she eats, but I'm like, y'all be eating McChickens, burgers, and all these other stuff. Y'all be putting stuff in y'all bodies to make them bigger. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you mean? Somebody in my comments though said Nicki sent her a friend request.
Dead.
I'm dead.
But no, it's absolutely, and I always stand by this. So even though I'm fully vaccinated, like before then, there was hesitation for me to get vaccinated because I didn't trust the information that I was being given during the last administration, and I wanted to look and see for myself what was happening. I wanted to research. I wanted to take my own time to research how this vaccine worked. I knew it wasn't like a great shield. If anything, is just a way for in case I do come in contact with the virus or that I am infected with coronavirus, that I'm not going to have severe symptoms, which would lead me to be hospitalized or on a ventilator and die. So it's like, okay, I'd rather take this vaccine that has been tested already and be able to go back and engage in the world in a safe manner to where I don't have the same fear that if I do get coronavirus, I'm probably going to die within 14, 21 days or be hospitalized and all that kind of stuff. Because that's not the future I see or want for myself. So that was part of my decision-making process in getting vaccinated. But there are a lot of people who do not take that time to research. They're just, they don't trust anything that the government says. So they just, no matter what you say, whatever the doctors are, they ain't gonna believe it. Right. And these same people were the ones believing that the election was stolen. So I'm just looking at them like, you know what? You don't trust data. You don't trust facts. You don't trust research. You don't trust science. And people talk about science like it's all Frankenstein or like, just people in labs creating shit and blah, blah, blah. Like that does happen. But that's not what science means. Science is about testing theories and processes, right? Everybody remember, for those who do remember the scientific method, it's like there's a series of things that happen. When you have your hypothesis, it's like you're just raising the question, right? And then from there, you say, well, this is what I believe happened. And then you start testing. You start testing with things. You start looking at what is the control? What is not changing? What is the thing that's going to be the same here? All right. And then what are the other variables? How do we adjust these variables? And then we just we collect the data from the results of these series of tests with different controls and different variables. And then at the end, you get your answer. Like this is what the answer is. Ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, y'all been vaccinated your whole life from a lot of shit. Like you had to be immunized for almost everything in order to go to school. So now at your big age, you're afraid of getting the vaccine because of something that happened with the Tuskegee Institute. But your kids are in school, which means they had to be immunized. Which means when your child was a baby, they couldn't even speak for they didn't even have the authority to say, "Mama, I don't want this shot." Right. And these same people are anti-abortion. What about the kids? That's what
right.
Like, y'all don't care about these fucking kids.
And by the way, about that Tuskegee era, this Tuskegee shit, they were talking about that. They said that basically it wasn't that they gave those people like a vaccination. They wanted to test how syphilis works by not vaccinating them.
Right. They were using black bodies as like lab rats and monkeys because they still didn't view us as human.
They didn't give them a vaccine. So it's like y'all keep on bringing that up like it's some kind of, like I said, they're going on thinkpieces.org.
Child.
And the handy dandy hotep man, they're saying, oh nope, this ain't right, and they're trying to kill black bodies. Mind you, there's white people that's taking the vaccine too. You would think they would try to, hold off on that. Don't go. You know what I'm saying? And I get there's white people that's also hesitant as well, but that has all to do with political stuff like Biden and stuff, and they don't trust. There's Biden in office, and they would have took it if Trump would be in office. My thing is, I had this question too. I said, what if Trump won actually, and then how would people? I don't know. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. When it comes back to Letitia, I feel, obviously, so she didn't get so apparently she's anti-vax, so that means she didn't get the vaccination, and she was still given the option to be in this film.
Well, interesting.
Right.
All you have to do is produce a negative test. Like, as long as you're negative and you ain't got the virus.
So she probably was like, she was probably getting tested every time they went. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what they're supposed to do. They still do. Even if you're vaccinated, you still have to get tested every couple of days when you're working.
It's this whole thing back when we were talking about with Christianity and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm safe. I need to save you. So don't get this vaccine. No. not take your vaccine in peace. Good luck, and move on, and let's move on. Like I really don't get it. You muted.
Like, people crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, sometimes I feel like if I was an alien, just transport myself and just look at what we're doing and what we're arguing and shit about. It's like, y'all are gonna die. Like, you're all gonna die. That's what it's like. You're all gonna die. So, like, girl, tap in and pay attention and focus on things that can.
They trying to go quicker. They trying to go quicker.
That can help you survive. You're gonna die.
Silly people. Anyway, let's go lighter with the topics. We got a couple more. Jesy Nelson's Boyz featuring Nicki Minaj. The song and video both came out today.
Oh yes, that sure did. What's coming out today?
It sampled Bad Boys, Diddy's old song, which I thought was very refreshing. You know, a sample done right would be okay. And I ain't trying to talk about nobody here. I ain't trying to talk about nobody, child. I ain't say her name. But no, a sample done right is good. I also found it very refreshing to see Nicki on set. You know,
yes,
our girl gives green screen.
Okay.
In a hot millisecond, but she was there. She was on site. Okay.
Yes. So I wonder if she got vaccinated, because she said she was gonna have to get vaccinated anyway to go on tour. So she probably did.
She probably did.
Yeah. But good for her. I gotta check out this new song though.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, it's on my personal playlist. I listen to it like 5 times a day. Like, I'm like, okay, all right. And Jesy Nelson, I mean, she giving the girls. They said that girl paying homage to black women. I'm like, oh my god, y'all need to stop. Somebody in my comments like, you seen her. I'm like, oh, you know these white girls be tan. She white, right? Well, I mean, you know these white girls be tanning.
I don't know. You know, these new white girls be having. So that's what I've learned too. As we continue to like live as a society and as like a global community, what I'm learning is a lot of these white people had black grandparents that passed, and so they still kind of black a little bit in there. I mean, white people came from us anyway.
All right, then I'm Asian because my great grandfather.
Right, but they ain't gonna get you nothing because your skin gonna tell everything. So, you know, these girls have been, you know, tanning and spray tanning and contouring and body shaping and all the things to look like black women. So nothing surprises me anymore. I don't know who's white unless you look like fucking Sarah Jessica Parker at this point. I don't know if you're white or not, child. You just one of those pasty people, and that's okay. I am. I mean, I'm very comfortable in saying that as a 6'3" chocolate coated candy kiss. I know what I am, who I am, how I'm supposed to move and operate in this world, and I'm okay with it. I understand that up in the line, there were, you know, probably some infiltrators, and I'm okay with that. All they did was, you know, help create a black man eventually, because I'm here. You know what I mean? And I have white cousins. I have biracial cousins. You know what I'm saying? And I love them, and never felt disrespected by them, never disrespected them. It's all about how you show up in the world and how you leverage the privileges that you do have. You know, when I was living my life as a young black straight man, there were privileges that I had that I didn't even know I had, because even through certain lenses, I was queer, but like there were certain things that came with me just, you know, not associating or not being visibly part of something that people deemed as bad or wrong or, you know, anti-norm. And so looking back, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe maybe I had some privileges, and now that I'm in this space, like I know how to check it. It's like, yeah, like, whether, and it's not, I never call it right or wrong, because you're born into what you're born into. You just operate based off of what cards you're dealt. But being able to have empathy, compassion, and an understanding that us being different is a strength that we should be playing into and not using it to divide us, is something we should be using to strengthen us collectively as people, as human beings. But there hasn't been anything in the past 20, 30 years that can like collectively unify us to think that way. I mean, people look back and say, well, 9/11 was the last time the country was united, and then Barack Obama got elected and divided us again. I'm like, why? Because he was a black man. That's not our fault. That's racist people's fault. If they had a problem with him being black, that's their problem. How did it become our problem? You the problem. It's your problem. How did we help divide the country? So we're supposed to just keep electing old white men to make sure that the country stays united.
People just don't like change, and it's
girl, fuck them.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole, child.
Change is the only thing that's constant about this world, and people just get with it, or you die. That's like, if you don't evolve, you die. Can you imagine a caterpillar that stops fishing into a butterfly? Bitch, you're a maggot, and you're gonna die.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You're gonna die. So, but anyway, so congratulations, Nicki and Jesy. I'm gonna go look at this here song and see.
It's already number one on iTunes, UK iTunes and US iTunes.
I believe it. It's Nicki Minaj.
They said it. It's gonna chart, honey.
It's the queen. Come on.
And the queen was giving us bars. Like I was like, oh, okay, yeah. You know, Nicki always does it, but I felt like she really did it here. So
you got me excited. Gonna have me amped. I'm gonna be playing this every day now, and then play Have Mercy, and then go on by my day. Mm-hmm.
On that note, we're just gonna end the show. I gotta watch Shang-Chi.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna go finish watching an episode of. Oh, we ain't gonna have time. I gotta do my face in 15 minutes. I was gonna try to watch an episode of Squid Game.
You watch On My Block? You don't watch that?
On My Block. I think I've seen the episode.
Yeah, it's like on Netflix.
I've seen one episode, but anyway.
I
watch TV when I go to bed. I watch TV when I'm done with the day. Like even when I'm in the house with the kids, and my kids are my cat Tokyo and my dog Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the house with the kids during the day, like I don't have the TV on. I be working. I got shit to do. And then at night, after I've done my duties to take care of my home and got everybody situated, then I can watch TV. I get in my bed. I watch TV, I read my book, and I take my ass to sleep.
Well, all right then. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Darren Green Show. I am your humble host, Darren Green.
I'm Prince Derek Doll.
And this